We lived in the same town, and in the beginning, he used to ride his bicycle over my house. He just knew from the beginning we were gonna end up together. It was a fairy tale wedding. We had everything in front of us, and it was just wonderful. Really, it was.
The wedding was perfect, the honeymoon was perfect, and everything was great. We wanted to have children right away. And yeah, we started soon after we got married.
So about a year and a half later, after getting married, we had our daughter, Kayla.
This is the last time we'll see me like this, ever.
So within 2 months of having her, I was pregnant again with Joseph.
I knew I was pregnant, and I wanted to wait for the right moment to tell him, so I didn't tell him right away. He was shocked, you know, oh my God.
He was a 7-pound baby. He looked good. We were very happy.
Can't believe we did it again.
For a short period of time, life was perfect.
Everything went normal in the pregnancy up until 29 weeks when my water broke.
It was just a surreal experience. Isabella was about the size of my hand. She was only 2 pounds, 5 ounces.
What's the matter?
Within the first 2 weeks, he started screaming, and he wouldn't stop crying for hours and hours on end. So at 4 months of age, he started to turn gray, lose all the nutrients because he wasn't getting any. We kept repeatedly taking him to the doctor and were encouraged that he was okay, but he just wasn't.
We had come in one day and they had mentioned that she had had a sonogram earlier that day on her head. She started becoming very lethargic, and they told us that she would probably need a blood transfusion soon.
We went to the hospital for an appointment, and we never left. We were there for 20 days. That's when they realized he was having terrible seizures, so many a day. That was all the shaking that he was doing wasn't really reflux, it was seizures.
The doctor had pulled me aside the one day and said, in all the years that we have been doing this, we have never seen a child suffer the brain damage that your daughter has suffered.
We had gone through MRIs with him, and then that's when they realized that the front part of his brain was very small. There was a big gap in between there, and he had terrible cerebral palsy, and it just kind of went downhill from there.
They told us she will never walk, talk, smile. She'll never be aware of her surroundings. She will never be able to do anything. And this was 3 days before Christmas, and it was news that was going to change the rest of our lives. Joseph
was not getting better. He wasn't able to lift his head up. He doesn't initiate anything, and that was hard. That was like a whole another grieving process, because not only do I have a disabled child, but he's really so severe that he's not going much farther. That was difficult. He went through 3 brain surgeries to relieve fluid that had accumulated. What happens to him also is that the back of his tongue collapses. It really inhibits him from getting any air.
Usually when a child is referred to us, the point of that family is usually in tremendous devastation. The difficulty and just the sadness that, and what they're being dealt with and lost, we do understand. And when we say that, it's not just because we read it out of a book, because many of us have gone through it, and many of us have witnessed what we see on a regular basis with the families we're working with. We have 2 services: home care services, helping families in the home with their children, and then we have Angela's House, which is a home away from home alternative. One of our main programs is called Case Management for Care at Home. We, as nurses, go into the home and try to help coordinate the umbrella of services and needs that a family has.
Me and my husband had absolutely no time together. No vacations, never went out, not even a movie. They assist me with respite care, so I'm able to have someone come and give me a break. There's times where I do happen to see the bills for different things, and it's astronomical. We had gotten from ATDC actually the hospital bed, which was a great thing because we can put it on an incline to make him more comfortable. That's working out great.
We want to be the type of agency where we can say, you know what, we'll help through other means. We'll find one way or another to get this for you.
You know, they're there to say to you that you're not alone. You might feel alone at times, but even though you're in this sheltered world, we're in this sheltered world with you. You're not going to be alone in it.
Her seizure disorder was very uncontrolled. Her seizures were becoming massive.
A couple of times she turned blue on us, and we resuscitated her right there on the living room floor. And the two of us, after that, broke down because it was just an unreal experience. She's a loophole in the system. She doesn't have a feeding tube. She doesn't qualify for certain care.
Unfortunately, it's just a reality. There are private insurances that will not cover some of this. And there's also circumstances where Medicaid won't cover it. We want the families to understand that we don't stop at that point.
We were never really prepared for what each minute held in store for Isabella. That's when we knew she needs to be someplace 24 hours a day. We can't do this anymore.
Once I first learned in dealing with my own daughter that there was no options out of the hospital on Long Island, I knew I had to do something. I had to find or create some alternative. We have 6 rooms. 2 of them are doubles. The specialty equipment doesn't come out jumping again, whether it's a feeding pump or whether it's the oxygen and suctioning. It doesn't get, you know, where that becomes the only thing you see in a room, like if you're in a hospital, because there's so much in the room, the medical equipment become almost secondary to the beauty of the room. This is the nursing station. It's centrally located in the house, so it has the ability to supervise the kids during the evening hours. This is the area where all the children come out into the den and just, you know, have the ability to all be together. We wanted state-of-the-art homes that would not be afraid to handle some of the children that we wanted to be able to handle. So we knew there was going to be a lot of costs and cost overruns that we were going to need to support. And that's what's kept our efforts very busy, either looking for grants or donations to help support this.
It's like a paradise, really. I mean, for someone in the situation that we're in and someone that's handicapped, there's just, you couldn't even put a price, it's priceless.
It's far from over, far from over. I mean, when I look into the future, I know we need additional funding to support a 3rd house, which we're actively trying to work on. We're also trying to work on a respite home. It's a short-term option where children can stay, whether it's for an afternoon, an overnight, a weekend, a full week, just to give that family that ability to maybe get away or better yet, just recharge. It's an awkward feeling when a family's by themselves. You know, their love for their child is greater than anything in this world. And when you know there's a stranger out there making a donation or extending themselves to try to help us, it gives them a whole new hope in life. It's that feeling as if humanity is out there supporting us all.
You know, when the doctors tell you that your child will never smile, and to see her smile, that's priceless. It gives me great joy to see her enjoying things that people didn't think she would be able to do.